And I made sure I recorded it, as I always do, or at least I always try. That doesn't necessarily mean that it works. I am about to start a fire in my vehicle because it keeps me warm. And I guess I'll have to use a piece of duct tape to cover the hole in my window that keeps making my life hell. Oh my god, my fucking back is fucking killing me, Jesus. Anyway, I'm gonna send him a lot of the stuff that needs to be sent in, and he's gonna not be a go-between. I'm gonna send him the evidence, and then he's gonna make sure that it's three-way messaged out. That way there is another human being involved in the process and actually assisting me in showing the evidence. The screenshot is with Natalie Bollinger. See, that was actually before I went to Virginia, but she was typing with me about her and Alicia the night that Alicia was drugged, and I saw him in those sleeping bags. They went to foster care after that. But I was, that night I yelled at him. I yelled at her, or that morning I should say. I yelled at her, and I yelled at her sister, and I yelled at Emery, and I yelled at Arturo. Because that was not appropriate. Anyway, she was claiming that I thought something happened that didn't. I didn't know what would happen or what had happened. I wasn't making my decisions based on what had happened or any assumptions of what happened. I was making my decisions based on what I saw before my very own eyes. Emery in a sleeping bag with one of the twins, and Arturo in a sleeping bag with one of the other twins. Both of these men are, close to 30 years old by that time. And Natalie and Alicia are 14-year-olds. So, that was the last time that I saw Natalie and Alicia for many years. The next time I saw them was, I want to say about 8 months before Natalie and her twin sister became adults. Now, I didn't know they were still kids at the time. They were walking with two older gentlemen who looked to be in their, probably late 20s, mid 30s. I wasn't sure how old they were, but I knew they were super excited to see me. They noticed me sitting down in the alley just off of Broadway and Pearl Street. It's actually behind the Baskin Robbins there. I was sitting down where the bank is in the alley, and when Natalie and Alicia saw me, one of them ran up right away and gave me a big hug. I don't know which. And they talked to me for a few minutes and told me, to hit them up on Facebook. And so they wrote down their information, and I sent them each a message on Facebook, and then I fucking forgot about them. I mean, not out of being an asshole, but my life was fucking hell, and I was having to jump through a shit ton of fucking hoops. I was injured, and my life was hell, Then she messaged me back. That wasn't until she was an adult, and that was a good thing. Now, the messages between her and I after she became an adult, like I said, there's only one message between her and I when we were underage, or when she was underage. She was 17, and it was at her request and her sister's request, and no, I didn't ask for ID. I just assumed they were adults. Since I wasn't trying to date either one of them or touch their naughties, it didn't matter how old they were. It's not like I was hanging out with them. They just remembered who I was and thought of me fondly. I don't know why. I was an asshole. Yeah, it was funny, They'd come walking up to the group that I'd sit in, and that's with Janine Barrett and her son. And when them and Maddie would come up, I'd be telling jokes. I was a funny son of a bitch. Anyway, that one right there is when we were talking about that, and I was apologizing for yelling at her and explaining to her You know, by that time, she'd already thanked me for doing that. You know, she was already, her and her sister both had already told me that they were thankful that I ran them off, that they agreed with my decision to do that. Also, I was a lot nicer about it than a lot of folks down there. So James has got a bit to do tomorrow. But with all his running around that he needs to do, he's going to have a lot of spare time. I also explained to him a little bit about the safety issues here, and that every moment that goes by is a moment that will allow my predators in this town to retaliate against me. I don't break the law because I'm a bad person. I break it out of necessity because people's lives are at stake. Right now, there are at least 4 people here, all female, all disappeared, all since I got here. 2 of them, the last person I saw them with was Robert Farnsworth. Robert Farnsworth talks about chopping 8 people's heads off and having them in duffel bags. Claire was going to Beaverton, and that's the last place that Katie and David Saltzman were. They disappeared as well. These are actual people who actually exist and actually disappeared. Now, Sally Treon, sorry, not Sally Treon, David and Katie Saltzman. Sorry, I was thinking about the abusive situation at Sally Treon's and there's a lot of stuff I got to go back and revisit. There was a lot of people involved. A lot of them had good intentions, but their environments were just far too abusive. Let's see about getting my fire started, right? As far as covering up that hole in the window. Oh, fucking Christ. Fuck. Shit, I got my tape buried. I ended up threatening people back. It was necessary. I kept getting told that it's not illegal, it's not illegal, it's not illegal. It's not illegal for people to wish I was dead. I'm like, people are literally threatening to kill me. Oh, that's not illegal. Really? It's making terroristic threats if I fucking do it. You stupid cunts. Anyway, Natalie Bollinger was my best friend. And in person, we never had a problem. Never. Not once. Ever. Now, the situation with the busted ass telephone and my busted ass car, that's another deal entirely, because her and I weren't talking. We didn't have the opportunity to talk. Her fucking phone was all busted to shit. The phone that I had was her old phone, and it was even more busted to shit. She was having severe anxiety, and I'm having severe anxiety. And then there's the fact that there's a lot of evidence that I don't have access to. Like how fucking broken my phone was. Now then people want to go, oh, Sean, you're a this and you're a that. Who the fuck cares what your goddamn opinion is, right? Well, except that you keep fucking harassing me and trying to destroy fucking evidence. Oh, James, being able to give him a 30-minute crash course tomorrow morning, I'm hoping that'll happen. All right. Ugh. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Now the important thing is to try to get this turned in before local law enforcement can retaliate against me. I suppose I should probably put together a compilation of police interactions and the way that I've been treated by the police throughout this, and put it up in the James the James video. I was going to call it something else, but anyway, when he called today, it was like 4 minutes and something seconds, and it's like he watched that video about him and actually fucking listened. So he did mention some situations about his situation and his difficulties, and that's important. And that's where I need him to listen, is that I have my difficulties, and as I've become familiar with his, the more he tells me about his situation, the more I become familiar with it. But also, that also means that there's less time that he's becoming familiar with my situation. So I'm glad for the better and more coordinated effort when he did call tonight. I understand that he was on medications, that he is in pain, that he is trying to get some R&R, and he let me know that he's going to help me tomorrow. Hopefully we can get it turned in a timely and efficient manner, before these abusers are allowed to harm me again. No promises though, right? So with him kind of starting to understand my situation is a very individualistic situation, and the fact that he now realizes how unsafe my situation is and that it is global. People telling me to move somewhere else does not increase the safety situation for me, especially given the fact that I can't. But then people want to be the world's biggest assholes because I don't do exactly what they want when they want it. That's not help. The victim knows what they need better than any of you. So you need to listen to the victim. All right, so I couldn't find my clear tape. As a result, I'm having to use duct tape. That makes it less likely that I'll be able to see out of the window, but on the bright side, at least it'll help to keep some of the heat in here. Get some of this crap moved. Now, for months and months here, people have been saying that they'll help me, promising that they'll help me, and they don't listen though. And their help, they don't understand how it's not helping me. Matter of fact, it's hurting me in the long run. Now, I'm not going to go hating those people for making mistakes. As long as they don't try to hide it, we'll do all right. We get along famously. Anyway, with the messages between me and Natalie, you get to hear that I'm an asshole to a lot of people, right? Well, that's because they all fucking procrastinate. Every goddamn one of them. If I do something wrong on the internet, there's 100 people that'll try to fucking turn it in and say, oh, Sean's still trying to stalk Natalie and Alicia. Like, first of all, you can't stalk a dead person. And second of all, I didn't stalk Alicia either. I tried to get a day in court with that dumb cunt. I tried to get a protection order against my predators, her family, and her friends. But that would have required one person to actually give a shit enough to listen to what's going on and fucking help me. Now, who did that? Who did that? Nobody. The entire year before Natalie Bollinger was killed, not one fucking friend ever made any effort towards helping me to turn in the abuse I was enduring. They didn't even want to fucking hear it because I got a dick. So let's hope that James is able to help. Let's hope that I don't get retaliated against tonight. And thank goodness he was able to take at least a few short minutes to try to become familiar with the situation. Oh, what the hell? That's a nice looking ride. Is that RAV4? Yeah, the person who parked next to me, they got their vehicle on and running. It kind of looks like a police vehicle on the front end, but it's definitely not. But I don't remember what the model is. Yeah, I think that one's a RAV4. That's not the police type one they got here. The biggest issue is people not making time. You know, they want to tell me about their pain as a reason for not helping. But the thing is, I'm always in pain. Always. When it comes to saving lives, it's pretty fucking important. Whether I hurt or not. Whether I hurt or not, I'm going to keep children safe. Whether I hurt or not, if someone is being victimized, I'm going to do what I can to fucking protect them. And you know what? The easiest thing for all these people who claim to be my friends and family, the easiest thing for them to do is also the thing that's the hardest. Because nobody wants to admit that they fucked up. You know, when somebody dies, yeah, people don't want to admit that they could have done something to stop it. Somebody was trying to get a hold of them. Somebody who was being abused. Somebody who's an at-risk adult. Somebody who is supposedly their friend or family. How many people accused me of being family and then showed me that I ain't? Brenda Dickinson, for one. Kayla Trujillo, a.k.a. Miss Peaches. Now you get to hear the videos when I believe they're bullshit versus after they stab me in the back. I'm not very nice after that. You stab me in the back, I'm not going to say fucking thank you for that shit. I get that Blaine McCrelius is a decent drug connect, and it's a good way to make extra money when you got kids, but it's a horrible excuse for helping people to destroy the life of someone who is supposedly your friend. I don't care about your fucking drugs. I don't. I care about the fact that you could have told the truth, and instead you made me post it on the fucking internet. See, every single one of you could have done the right thing and helped me to turn it in instead of fucking procrastinate. Where are you now? On the fucking internet. Some people are fine with it. Most people ain't. There's a lot of witnesses that didn't come forward, but they were recorded, so that's pretty important. There's a lot of witnesses that didn't come forward, but their text messages and messages in Facebook Messenger show that I told the truth. My predators didn't have to show any evidence. All they had to do is prevent me from being allowed to go to court. And that was easy enough. They just called me mentally ill and pretended I was schizophrenic. And you know what? Not one of my friends ever came forward about the fact that I'm not. Although I have easily a dozen people that have known me for years or more, they're recorded on my YouTube channel stating outright that I am not schizophrenic nor delusional and have never shown signs of schizophrenia or delusions. I'm overwhelmed because I'm overwhelmed. It's a situational issue. Well, you guys try to pretend that I need drugs. Drugs don't fix any of my problems. Drugs don't get me a safe place to live. Drugs don't get the crimes that are committed against me turned in. Drugs don't stop abuse. Drugging somebody extra is not going to stop abuse. No offense or nothing, but really, drugging does not work in most situations. Only 6 to 7% of quote-unquote mentally ill people are actually on the right meds. There's also the fact that most of them don't need it. Did you know that 40% of those diagnosed with schizophrenia in America are not schizophrenic? Well, how do we know that? Because a lot of people go and get a second opinion. When you got severe PTSD, the doctors who care about you, and you've got the doctors who want your money. If they actually care, they're not going to be your doctor for very long. They're not going to make a lot of money from you. But they'll make a lot of money if they can find a way to keep you going in and out of their door. That's the problem with therapists. They need you to come back so they can make money from the state. When you're this is what the state is willing to pay for. They're not willing to pay for an advocate who is actually going to help you with the legal stuff. They claim that they will, but you get to hear Marcia Estrada says that that's what Penny Cooper is supposed to do. Penny Cooper repeatedly says it's not her job. Now, Marcia Estrada is the boss in that situation, and she knows better. So, here's the thing. Is Marcia Estrada going to help me turn in Penny Cooper? No. That's because Marcia Estrada fucked up too. So, of course, there was a string of messages between myself and several other people, including several of my predators. And that's always a great way to start the conversation. But on the bright side, Marcia Estrada was a part of that conversation. She got to see the messages being sent. And of course, I got the evidence that shows that they're assholes and full of shit, which is great news. Dan Faber being in that conversation and trying his best to gaslight me. God, that was a fucking fun one. People don't like when you tell the truth about them. They love that you're honest until you're honest about them. Well, I thought I was gonna find my lighter. There it is. I did my best to explain to James that, well, there's a time limit on this. There always is. Because it's long-term and ongoing, and it's still going on. There's no statute of limitations. This is long-term abuse. That makes it habitual. In each and every situation where I called or spoke to an officer, that officer at that point in time was my caretaker or my caregiver. Therefore, it's illegal for them to treat me the way they did. Isn't that beautiful? By the way, it's illegal to treat any of us that way, but people who are disabled and homeless are especially prone to that abuse. I have both physical and mental disabilities. both sets primarily from abuse. I feel sick every single day. I feel fatigued every single day. Oh. That would have turned into puke if I'd eaten today. I can't take care of myself because of abuse. But none of these places will listen to me about the abuse or investigate any of it without a friend or family member who cares to put up a goddamn fight. Call the media with me and tell them the truth. Power pound that fucking evidence. All these people that are typing at the peanut gallery, it's not helping. It literally does make things worse for you to do that. For you to pretend to care, but you're not speaking up, so you don't actually care. And that's really the deciding factor there. Do you care about the person or not? Are they just entertainment, or do you care about them? If you care about them, you help them turn in the abuse right away, instead of making them wait. I have to understand the situation with James, and as a result, I'm doing my best to do so and to remain calm. I'm also burning up gasoline I don't really have to burn. My vehicle will not be legal on payday. I gotta pay for my phone bill. I gotta pay for my insurance for my vehicle. I gotta pay for, well, a whole shit ton of stuff here. Meanwhile, I gotta save something to live on. I gotta be able to eat, right? I gotta have gas, right? Now, how much money did I spend in my vehicle going from one appointment to another to another? All that money I just kept putting into my vehicle for fucking going to those appointments and staying warm, and now I can't even use it to stay warm. Anyway, I started posting up links to other conversations with witnesses in one of the James videos, and I'll try to attach it somewhere at some point. There's a lot in it, you know. There's a lot more that I'm going to be sending out as soon as I can. For right now, I gotta go cop a squat. If I don't go take a shit, it's going to come out my nose, ears, and mouth, and that's just not cool. Ugh. Oh, let's go drop a deuce, huh? Anyway, there's also witnesses like, well, for example, Jamie Curtis's son. I can't exactly make those videos public until he's an adult. So those are private for now. But here's the thing about the boy. He's been a lot more honest with me than his mom ever was. And he got a hold of me to let me know the head games that his mom was pulling and the other people that she was getting involved, and that includes his dad. Ugh. I made sure that he knows probably a bad idea to contact with me and could get me in a lot of trouble, so he's aware. But I did let him know that if he's in danger, if his life is in danger, he can contact me at any point in time and I will do something immediately. It's not his fault that his mom did what she did. It's not my fault either. Also, when he turns 18, there's a chance he might come forward on his own and start speaking out. I love the boy. I love his mom. Anyway, I'm glad that James got a hold of me. I gotta go to the Tillamook Sporting Store and spend the night there in their parking lot. I hope I don't get messed with. That's the thing, is that, you know, the longer it takes to get this stuff turned in, the more likely it is that my predators here are going to retaliate again. They do so frequent and often. When your predators are law enforcement, that's a social club that's nationwide.